stop making fun of disabled. How would you feel if you were disabled and had an intellectual disability and you got teased?
Let me answer that for you, Carly. You seem to think in this whole planet you're the only one with the worst disability than every other person that lives here. And you're not. And it gets so fucking old and so disgusting how you constantly bring it up every single fucking video. I'm going to tell you something that even my community doesn't know. I haven't been disabled for 10 years, 20 years. I've been physically disabled since I was 4 years old. I was ran over by a truck when I was 4 years old. My leg was broken for 8 days and they didn't know it because my leg, I guess it was bleeding internally. But I had road rash. Just the rocks destroyed my leg. Not only was it burned, but it was mangled. But every day for 8 days, they'd come in with the tray of iodine so they could slowly peel the dead skin, because that's how they did it in my country and back then. And for 8 days, they would twist and turn to get on each side and underneath and everything of my entire little tiny leg at 4 years old while it was broken. The bone had already set by the time they figured it out, so they re-broke my leg. But it didn't work. By the time I was 6, 7 years old and had to keep going back, my right leg was 1.5 inches shorter than my left. But not only that, while I was in the hospital of having the dead skin peeled off every single day, which was torture, I couldn't walk. I had to learn to walk again. It was 6 months of physical therapy, learning to walk. And then growing up my whole life, being teased because of my limp and getting scoliosis. And the worst one was my ex, who teased me constantly. So when you sit there and talk about you had one seizure and you couldn't walk or talk or any of this, you had to learn it all over again. Your stories are so highly exaggerated, it's sickening. I have a photo that I've had. It's the only photo I have from that time that I'm going to insert just to show proof, because you never do. And I'm not looking for sympathy because I am not like you. But I want you to understand, you are not the only person out there with a disability. I do not go after you because of your disability. I go after you and cover you because you're a lol's cow. You're a bitch. You're a bully. The way you treat people makes me sick to my stomach. And I will not stop covering you. If someone wants to cover me, I know I'm a foul-mouthed person. I have been for many years. But the one thing I am not, and I have never been and never will be, is a liar, a manipulator, deceitful, or a fucking bully. That's all been done to me. And I would never, ever do it to another person. If someone wants to cover me, that's fine. More than likely, I'm going to find it hilarious. Because unlike you, it's not going to hurt my fifis.
Welcome to Worst of the Internet. In February of 2023, Mr. Beast came under heat for his video titled 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time. The video is fairly straightforward. Mr. Beast pays for 1,000 people to have surgery to cure their blindness. The reason this video became controversial is because a large portion of leftists attacked the video as poverty porn. The term poverty porn is generally defined as the exploitation and fetishization of poverty poverty in order to garner sympathy or support for a cause. Many argued that Mr. Beast was exploiting people in their most vulnerable moments for views and ad revenue. However, the left-wing commentators had a very specific reason. They felt that these surgeries should be free anyway, and the government, not Mr. Beast, should be the one doing this. So if we live in the left's ideal world where everyone has free healthcare, Mr. Beast wouldn't be able to pull off this grift. Now, me personally, I disagree with this completely. As long as everyone was a willing participant and the doctors were compensated for their work, then who really cares who paid for it? Mr. Beast gets views and ad revenue, but 1,000 people are also no longer blind and they're able to live a much more productive life than they ever could have before. This just isn't a good example of poverty porn. What is a good example of poverty porn is the video Mr. Beast put out in March of 2023 on his Beast Philanthropy channel titled Giving 20,000 Shoes to Kids in Africa. Now, if you want to know what my problem is with this video, then I'll give you two options. Option number one is I did a pretty detailed reaction to this video on a live stream back in November of 2023. It's number 18 in my live stream series, and I'll link it in the description. Option number two is just wait till the end of this video and I'll tie this all together in a summary. I also have something at the very end of this video that will make all of this worth it, I promise. Because this video isn't about Mr. Beast. This video is about our favorite pop princess, Carly. Now, if you're not familiar with Carly, please check out my first video in this series, Carly, The Truth Uncovered, before going into this video. And before I get into much more of the chronological storyline, I want to go in depth over something that I briefly brought up in the original video. Probably my favorite video from her was where she read on the kids menu at On the Border that she could donate $10 to feed hungry children in Africa. So she decided to go home and do a live stream reacting to a Save the Children video.
If you go to a restaurant, they offer you a chance to pay $1 to all the kids that are hungry. They'll offer you $1. So if you pay $1, you're helping kids eat in different countries. Go ahead, let's go ahead and watch the rest of this video. So in here it looks like these kids' bones are like all over their body. Okay, so we'll get to your comment in a minute. Okay, cool. We'll get to your comment in a second. Murray, I'll talk to you in a minute. So watching this makes me want to cry because these kids are starving, and it's sad. And Muffy said, we help provide water to communities that have no water. Well, thank you, Murray. That's so kind of you. Give this a big thumbs up if you like this video.
And of course, Pretty Little Lies took the bait.
Your video had nothing to do with the starving children of Africa. Yours was trying to manipulate your audience into thinking you're a good, kind person. And even though I was so pissed that you did that video and I don't have the money that you have, I knew you weren't donating shit to those kids. I gave $30. How much did you give, Carly? Because I still haven't seen your receipt.
Well, she only said to donate $10 and you did 30, so that's 10 for you, 10 for Carly, and then the charity got an extra $10. Carly did a great job raising awareness from where I'm standing, and she even got you to cover her part. So is Carly trolling? I mean, I like to think so. So for this video, I'm going to do a long form reaction to Pretty Little Lies, reacting to Carly, reacting to the Save the Children video. And when I say long form, I mean long. I want you to understand the pain and suffering that I had to endure listening to this woman drone on and on for hours complaining about Carly. For example, remember that clip I attached to the beginning of this video where she complains about getting hit by a truck? That rant was so long I had to cut it in half. In fact, let's go ahead and finish that clip before we get started.
If someone wants to cover me, that's fine. More than likely, I'm going to find it hilarious. Because unlike you, it's not going to hurt my fifis. But I'm not going to stop covering you, Carly, because you're not going to change. And I want you exposed for the piece of shit human being that you are. And you can't seem to understand why I get so angry when you sit there and talk about PTSD and you can't even get it right and you just started talking about it. I have CPTSD, Carly, panic disorder and major depression. And all of that started after I left my ex many years ago. When I was with him, I literally almost was killed. Okay, Carly, if you want to know the truth, I was going to tell my story about the whole thing, and I wasn't sure if I was going to, but I am so angry with you. I was put into a medically induced coma for 46 days, Carly, because I was unrecognizable, and they didn't think I was going to survive unless they did. I'm not going to do this. Guys, I want to apologize. I wasn't ready to talk about that yet. I just get sometimes so angry at her constantly with her, oh guys, feel sorry for me. I stubbed my toe and now I need sympathy, or send me gifts, and I can't stand people like that. But I promise one day I might tell my entire story. It's just, right now I'm not. I have to be in the right headspace to do it, and I'm not. But I hope I didn't bring anybody down. That's not my intention. I'm going to keep that in there. And please don't think I'm doing that for sympathy. I am not Carly. I'm just keeping it in there. I want her to see she is not this poor little victim that she tries to play all the time. There are people who have had it worse than me. But I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring anybody down if I did. And like I said, please don't think I'm doing that for sympathy. That's the farthest thing from it. I just wanted her to know.
And this was an uploaded video, by the way, so that means she edited in that "be right back" screen and left all of this hoopla in the video. Another good example is just by looking at the runtime of Pretty Little Lies' videos. In the video we're going to watch, Carly did a live stream that lasted 15 minutes and 16 seconds. Pretty Little Lies' reaction to this stream went on for 41 minutes and 36 seconds. So like I said, I have something at the end of this video that I promise will make it all worth it. So go get a drink and let's watch Your Manipulation and Desperation is Showing.
Hi guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much and welcome back. I know I'm working on the Carly series that I told you all about, and I do not subscribe to her, but I constantly check her channels, or I'll have people giving me updates who are watching her for me. And I heard that she just made another video a few hours ago. So I have a few hours left of my Carly series that I'm working on, but I had to stop on that one. This video that she just did, I know she's triggered me in the past, but this one really, really triggered me. So just be prepared to anyone new. I have a very foul mouth, and I apologize for that. That's just who I am. I'm so sorry. But to all my subs and my viewers and everyone else, you know me. I'm just a foul mouth person. And this one, she has literally triggered me. So I don't know how bad I'm gonna get, and I apologize up front. But let's get into the video and see what this bitch has to say, because I am already off.
So first off, if this video is triggering her so much, and she's been so triggered by Carly, then you'd think that she would just unplug and not give this any attention. At least that's what any rational person would do. But I want to address a couple of things here. Pretty Little Lies claims that she's not subscribed to Carly, and that she's currently working on a Carly series. Even at the time, this was a little bit weird to hear from her, because Pretty Little Lies uploaded this video on August the 11th. This calendar shows videos videos that Pretty Little Lies uploaded from when she created her channel up until August the 11th. All of the pink dots represent a video that she did about Carly. And if you see the number 2, that means she uploaded 2 videos about Carly that day. Now, you might just assume she's a busy content creator, but let's fill in the calendar with videos that she did about other people that weren't Carly. So when she uploaded this, she had already made 55 videos just about Carly in only 4 months of having her channel. So my question is, why are you making a Carly series? Your whole channel already is a Carly series.
You can bring my drink in.
I'm busy still pouring it.
Oh.
I have an idea, Carly. Why don't you get off your fucking ass and go get your own drink? Is Freddie your butler now? Are you that high up that you just have a butler and a maid and he does everything else for you? You barely do anything. Every time you're on video, he's doing laundry or cleaning or doing dishes. What do you do, Carly, other than run your fucking mouth and bully people? Oh, you pissed me off. Get your own drink.
Okay, first of all, a queen does not have to pour her own drink. Second of all, you sound jealous because Carly got a man that's going to bring her a drink. You got a man that didn't realize that he had an IV in his arm after leaving the emergency room, and then you made a way too long community post about it, showed a picture of the IV in his arm, and acted like a Karen about the fact that the hospital told you that you would have to go back to the hospital to have it removed. Did you assume that they would send an ambulance out to you just to remove an IV? But no, I get it. Get you a man that can do both or whatever.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my live. We're going to talk about kids that need to. It's my Diet Coke. But before we start, I want to introduce myself. My name is Natalie, so welcome.
$10 a month.
By the way, being this bitch doesn't put anything on her channel about places you can donate, which it's all over the internet, but this is the charity we've used in the past several times, and I just donated again today, Carly. But we all know you're doing this to try to manipulate your audience, to try to get subs and views because you're fucking disgusting. But here's my receipt. Where's yours? And I definitely don't have the money you have, Carly. At least not anymore. But I make sure I give to charity. Unlike you, who has the money, but doesn't. Your name is not Natalie. Your name is Carly. You've chosen so many different names, like I told you before. Natalie, Destiny, Serenity, Faith. I'm not going with any of those because you don't stick with it, Pamela Ann. Once you decide to stick with a name and you keep it for quite a long time, maybe then I'll start calling you that. But I'm old, Carly. I have a bad memory, so Carly is what it is.
So I'm not going to shit on UNICEF specifically, but when discussing poverty porn, as I had mentioned earlier, the efforts for children in Africa tends to be the most egregious example. It's easy for UNICEF to run long commercials showing pictures and videos of starving children to make you stop and look around at all the blessings that we have in Western society. The fact that you have internet access and you can watch this video means you're at least doing better off than they are, right? But the reality is, if you're struggling to, pay your rent, then you probably shouldn't be giving to charity. Yeah, you might be better off than they are, but really, how can you help someone if you haven't taken care of yourself first? Also, there's a problem in that receipt that you flashed up for half a second. This isn't a receipt for a donation. This is a receipt for an order that you placed on UNICEF Market, where every gift you purchase gives back to children. But this isn't a direct donation. You just bought something off their website.
Let me get my stuff here. We're going to start off by watching a clip of kids who are desperate for food.
Fucking shit!
Oh, is that so, Carly? Kids that are desperate for food. Maybe there's kids out there that could use the food that you and your lazy ass fiance, boyfriend, go to the food bank each month and get, when they could be using it. And the toys that you get all the time for yourself that children could use? Maybe think about that, Carly.
So I already addressed the food bank thing in detail in the first video, so I'm not going to go over that again. Like I said, watch that video first. All I'm going to say is that shaming a mentally challenged woman for going to the food bank is pretty disgusting. But what is this nonsense about lazy ass fiance? You literally just said less than 2 minutes ago that he does everything around the house for her. So why is it all of a sudden he's now lazy?
And that's the topic for today. So I'm gonna turn this around so you guys can see the video. I'm gonna try to turn it this way so you guys can see the video. So you all know that kids, hold on. Okay, while I'm getting it started, I'm gonna go to my YouTube channel and we're gonna talk about kids that are indeed need for food, okay? Thursday video. Okay, so we're gonna go to YouTube and I'm going to get the I have the clip on my phone. I can actually type in videos of kids that are indeed need food. So we're gonna talk about that. How are you? So let's go ahead and look that up on YouTube. And then we're gonna watch some clips and then you guys can we'll answer some questions. Okay, so we're gonna talk about. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Let me go this way. We're gonna look at videos that kids that need food. Okay, so we're gonna watch. There's a 2-minute video we're gonna watch, and then we're gonna go ahead and watch this short, and then we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, hi. Hi, Jane. How are you? So you guys ready?
Shut the fuck up!
And because this fucking heifer doesn't do her research and does not understand terms of service like she thinks she does, I don't know if this video is copyright protected, so I don't want to take the chance and put it on my channel. But it's the kids in Africa and just showing how thin they are with the bloated bellies. I just can't watch it anyway. But in my opinion, the reason she's doing this is I think she's scared because so many of us are exposing her of buying subs. So she's holding off buying any more. But yet she wants to keep getting the subs because she knows she's up for there's 2 different tiers basically you can get for monetization, not monetization, but the first one is, like I was saying in my community post, you can get super chats, super stickers, memberships, have your own merchandise, and then when you get, and that's with 500 subs, and I believe it's 4,000, I'd have to look again, but 3,000 or 4,000 watch hours. And I'm 50 subs away from getting that achievement. And then if you get 1,000 subs, and my watch hours are way beyond what I need, so I'm good on that, but the subs is what they look at to become monetized. And she's not even to the first, I guess, tier you could call it, to where she could get super chats and all of that. I'm closer than she is. And I think, and well, of course she knows that. So she's doing everything she can right now to try and manipulate people to think that she's a good person and she's a protector of the disabled. Now she's a protector and getting awareness out there for children in Africa, and she's fucking disgusting, and that is the only reason she is doing this. And I will expose her because this is disgusting. This bitch can take food from a food bank each month and not give 2 shits about children in her own country and worry about them. And now, and they're, please don't get me wrong. A child is a child no matter where it's at. I'm just saying that being in her own country, she doesn't even give a shit about them because she's taking food out of their little mouths when her and Freddie go each month to a food bank. When she's got the money, she goes out to eat all the time, shopping all the time, ordering off Amazon, Temu. She's fucking disgusting. disgusting.
Okay, so first of all, Pretty Little Lies says that she's not going to play the video as if she edited anything out of this. If you're a member, you can watch the full original stream from Carly on my channel, but she didn't cut any part of Carly's stream out of this video, so that was a lie. Secondly, Pretty Little Lies speculates that Carly is doing this stream to get subs to deflect from her buying subs or something like that. I don't know, but if I had to guess, she's probably doing this stream because she has a bunch of Karens that are making her feel guilty about going to a food bank. Also, why do you know her watch hours?
Let's watch this clip. Let me move this over. Okay. Y'all can see.
I don't know what the fuck you are doing with your life.
Let's go. Turn it up. This is really sad. Let's see if you guys can see.
It is very sad, Carly, but just out of curiosity, why all of a sudden are you concerned about the children in Africa? I mean, you are taking food out of the mouths of children in your own fucking country. Why not start there? Lead by example, Carly. Stop taking food out of children's mouths here. Quit going to the fucking food bank, taking the food that could go to families who have children and toys that could go to children instead of a 39-year-old so-called woman. And where's the money you've donated to help out children? I'd love to see the proof, Carly. You say you donate and you give money and all the rest of it. Let me see your receipt. Just one.
Show me the receipts.
Because you know damn well you don't have one.
Well, to be fair, you don't either. You have a receipt that says you ordered something from UNICEF Market. Was it maybe this unique little ruby hummingbird wall art from Mexico for only $29.99?
I gave $30. How much did you give, Carly? You are too selfish to give a fucking thing to anybody. You take. And the only reason you're doing this is try to manipulate your audience, because right now us reaction channels have the heat on you about subs, so you're afraid to buy more. But God forbid if I or anybody else gets monetized because you're kind of close. I'm closer than you, and I think that's what you're afraid of. You've been doing this for 2 years now, and I've been doing it for a few months, so you're afraid I might get super chats or super stickers or memberships before you, and then 500 more subs, Carly, and I'm monetized. Is that what you're afraid of? You're fucking disgusting. Show proof where you've donated to help out these kids. If not, shut the fuck up, because you're taking food out of children's mouths in your own country. You sick bitch.
All right, so Pretty Little Lies is very hung up on this monetization stuff. So let's talk about August the 20th, 2023. This was the day that both of these two ladies applied for monetization. I have two screenshots which are timestamped from that day from both of them. Interestingly enough, when I had come across Carly's post that she had met the requirements and she had applied for monetization, I went and checked Pretty Little Lies' channel because I knew that she still didn't have 500 subs and she was probably coping really hard. So when I went to look, I then found her community post saying that she had also applied. I took these two screenshots at the same time, and like I said, they're timestamped right here. If you notice, Carly's post is from 9 hours ago, and Pretty Little Lies' post is from 1 hour ago, meaning that somewhere in this 8-hour time span, Pretty Little Lies magically jumped up to 500 subs so that she could apply too. I mentioned in the last video that I could pontificate about who was or wasn't buying subs, but Carly admitting to it is all the evidence that you really need. So how would you analyze this if the person wasn't willing to admit that they did it? You'd look for trends and data. Take a look at this chart from Social Blade. This is a side-by-side of weekly subscribers and weekly video views gained for Pretty Little Lies' channel. You'll notice that the spikes in the graph are very similar to each other, and this should make logical sense to you. If you got a lot of views on a video, then there's a higher probability of more people subscribing to your channel. But let's look, for example, at the week of September the 11th. Her views are low on average for this week, but she gets 55 new subscribers. What else is interesting is that she only uploaded one video during this week, but more on that in another video. So what happened on August the 20th when she was eligible to apply? Well, during that week, her views were historically low for that week, and she still managed to get 44 new subscribers to put her over 500. Now, there could be numerous reasons for this, but it looks suspicious all the same. Pretty Little Lies had actually made a post a couple of days prior saying that she hoped that she could still beat Carly to monetization. So I really wouldn't be shocked if there was somebody in the community that saw Carly's post and saw Pretty Little Lies' post and decided to push Pretty Little Lies' channel over the requirement limits so that she could rub it in Carly's face. Nevertheless, it sure does make you think a little bit more about who is or isn't buying subs around here. Of course, Carly wasn't talking about any of this. Pretty Little Lies was the one that seemed obsessed with views and subs, and she had another Karen fit when YouTube approved Carly's application faster than hers. So all of this talk about Carly's obsessed with views and subs, it sounds a lot like projection to me.
So let's pause it here. So these kids are inspiring, okay? These kids need help. So
Oh, no shit, Judas.
these kids are trying to get the food they deserve. Now, this is sad to watch, okay? So let's talk about these two kids here. The person right here it says, according to a recent statuses, every 5 seconds a child dies as a result of hunger. Like,
What the fuck is this? What are you doing? You are not this kind of person. I don't know what the hell you think you're doing. The only thing I believe that you're trying is to manipulate your audience into believing you are some saint, some sweet, kind person that cares about humanity. When, weeks ago, maybe not even that, you're bullying people, especially disabled people, and now you're going to try to use these starving children for what? Subs? Views, Carly? You are sick. Even for you, this is sickening.
From what I can tell, she's just reading words off of a video. As far as trying to manipulate people into thinking that she's a good person, couldn't the same thing be said for you with your bullshit ass UNICEF market receipt? What did you order from there, ma'am? Was it these whimsical feline earrings from Thailand for only $29.95?
I gave $30. How much did you give, Carly?
we need to help. So what can we do to help kids with hunger? Watch the rest of the video and I want to hear your questions in the comments.
I already told you my comment, Carly. You can help by starting in your own backyard. Stop taking food out of children's mouths in your own country, in your own neighborhood. Keep your ass away from that food bank.
By the way, she can't hear you until you've uploaded the video, so you don't have to repeat yourself. Now, I just want to point out that this is the part of Pretty Little Lies' reactions where she's going to start looping and repeating all of her talking points. I'll let her play through for a couple more clips, but I promise it'll be worth it by the end of this video. Thank you for putting up with this, and press like if you made it this far.
Now, this kid here is eating. So the people who are so kind, they send food over to kids that are starving in Africa and all these countries. And it's sad to see that they barely have any bones on their body, like any food on their body. So this kid is eating because they offer food for kids just like this. So keep watching.
Carly, that is how I feel. That is how you make me feel. After watching this bullshit video of yours because you're not doing it from your heart. You're being a manipulative bitch, and you know it. So fucking disgusting.
You complain about the taste of your food. Think of someone who has nothing to eat at all. Like, how do you feel about that?
Carly, I'll say it again. I'll say it through this whole fucking video. You are manipulating your audience. That's all you're doing. You don't give two shits about any child. If you did, you wouldn't be taking food out of their mouths by going to the food bank each month when you know damn well you don't need it. You have the money. If you can go out to eat once or twice a week, go shopping once or twice a week, order off Amazon and Temu at least once a week, you don't need it. You're just selfish. You don't care about anybody. You're doing this to manipulate your audience, looking for sympathy that you're this good, kind person, and we all know you're not. And I will continually keep exposing you. It's just a matter of time before your channels are terminated. I truly believe that.
This shit finna come to a motherfucking end.
How do you feel about that they don't have nothing? Think about that, because it's sad to see these kids dying every second of the day. You know, hi, how are you, Muffy? Dying every second of the day because they don't have any food. Keep on watching, and then I will answer your comments down below. Go ahead and comment what you think we should do for kids in hunger. Okay, let's pause it right here real quick. I'm gonna explain here. So it looks like they're in line with their bowls trying to get food, and they barely get anything. And this is why I want to talk about this, because there's kids out there that are starving to death. And all these kids are in line to get their food, so keep on watching.
Are the starving children in Africa something new to you, Carly? Or who told you that doing this video would be a good idea? Or is this your harebrained idea? Because you are only making things worse on yourself. Most people know you get food from a food bank each month. And they also know how you shop, go out to eat, you have packages delivered all the time. And you thought this was a good idea to do this? You're fucking disgusting, Carly.
Okay, right here is a girl waiting to eat whatever that is, which it looks like rice. I think they give kids rice. I don't know. What do you guys think? It looks like it's not going to be that good, but it's better than nothing for kids that are starving. Let's keep watching. Okay, so right here, it looks like he's giving the kid rice. Okay, so we have no clue how the harvesting is done. The farmers commit suicide when the harvest isn't proper. So let's talk about this. So this is sad. So people, it says if the farmers don't get anything done, I guess they take their own life. But it's sad to see these people. Oh, you have? That's awesome. That's not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking serious? You're sitting there talking about someone taking their own life, and then, oh, that's awesome. That's so nice. I'm so glad someone losing their life, where you're sitting here trying to get people to think that you have feelings and a good heart and feel for these people. And then all of a sudden you can just instantly turn it off and be happy. You are a fucking disgusting piece of shit, Carly. And I hope everybody sees just how manipulative and deceitful you are. You fucking make me sick to my stomach.
Okay, so some context. I mentioned earlier that Carly was doing a live stream, and live streams usually have a chat. I don't have the original chat recording, but there's somebody in the chat named Muffy who's saying that they've been to Africa as part of their work with the Peace Corps. So that's what Carly is saying awesome to, not the fact that people commit suicide. Now, I have to assume Pretty Little Lies doesn't know this, or doesn't know this is a live stream, and I'm sure she won't contradict my theory in a few minutes. That would be
Manipulative and deceitful.
And that would
fucking make me sick to my stomach.
There are thousands sleeping on roads and empty stomachs. That's sad. So Muffy, keep your comment. We'll talk about your comment in a minute.
Yes, Muffy, take your comment back and hold on to it until Carly is ready to play that part in her bullshit story and her tangled, twisted tale of lies. So hold on to that comment.
So it looks like kids, just watch. These kids have nothing at all to say. Look how they live. This is sad. Very sad. We get the food easily, so we waste it without realizing for a minute. The food that we waste, that we throw away, could easily go to kids and donate whatever we got to kids with hunger.
And how much food have you wasted, Carly? Have you ever thought about that? And then not to mention the free food you get from the food bank. How much of that have you wasted that could have gone to a family that truly needs it?
We need to donate. Let's go ahead and talk about Muffy's comment before we go back and watch again. Muffy said, I work in a Peace Corps helping dogs, wells, and deliver vaccines to kids overseas. Digging wells. Thank you for your comment. Go ahead and tell us about your job. What do you do? Like you just said, what does it do? Does it help? Does it help the Peace Corps? I know.
You guys, I'm sorry, but what the fuck is going on? I feel like I'm in Bizarro World. What is this bitch up to? Let's talk about your job. How does it... Who has told her this was a good idea? We all know, and I know I've said it 50 times in this video, but I want new people to see this. We all know this fucking bitch goes to a food bank each month. Not only does she take food, a lot of it, but toys. And not toys for her daughter, toys for herself. And now she's going to sit there and try to act like she's so concerned about children, but not children in America, children in Africa. What the fuck is going on? This whole video has just really triggered me, but I don't understand what the hell is going on. This is just sick. And please, if for anybody that's new to me, please don't think I'm referring to anything other than Carly. Anything to do with children or animals or anything. I'm not talking about that. I am referring to Carly. She's a horrible, horrible person. And she's only doing this to try to manipulate the audience. She is not a good person. She doesn't give two shits about these kids. Believe me on that. She doesn't care. This is all fake bullshit. And that's why I'm so pissed, because this is sickening.
What makes you think that you know her motivations? Everybody that goes into philanthropy goes into it with good intentions, but the idea that she can't just watch these videos and talk about giving to charity without doing it herself seems really regressive. A large portion of the charity's work is promoting their charity and getting more people to donate. That's why often charities can end up using up to 30% of your donations on marketing and fundraising to raise money. Carly's doing that work for free. Regardless, is there something about the things that she's actually saying that you have a problem with? At this point, I'm questioning your motive when you make comments like this.
But not children in America, children in Africa.
So what is your hang up with whether she's telling people to donate to children in Africa? She hasn't even named a country or anything. She's just said that we should give leftovers to the hungry.
What is a Peace Corps? Digging? Okay, so...
What?
Carly, the Peace Corps, the exact mission of the Peace Corps is to promote world peace and friendship by trained volunteers to countries all around the world. not just one specific thing. I think you said digging or something. Do your research.
Again, I have to assume that she doesn't see the chat messages, but someone in the chat claimed that they work for the Peace Corps, and she's asking that person, what do they do at the Peace Corps? And the person said that they dig wells. I can't really think of a more direct way to do research.
Let me tell you all something. So, if you go to a restaurant, okay. Hi, how are you? If you go to a restaurant, they offer you a chance to pay $1 to all the kids that are
hungry.
English lesson time again, Carly. It's hungry. All the kids that are hungry.
Offer you $1. So if you pay $1, you're helping kids eat.
All for only $1. Not all for you $1.
Okay, first off, she was trying to say offer you $1, not all for only $1. But check out Grammar Granny over here. How are you going to be the grammar police when you couldn't even get your title right? Hint, it's your manipulation and desperation are showing, not is showing. But I didn't want to be rude to you.
In different countries. Go ahead, let's go ahead and watch the rest of this video. So in here it looks like these kids' bones are like all over their body.
Carly. Everybody's everybody's bones are good. I can't. And guys, I was not laughing at the children. Please, please, please don't think I was. It's just her stupid ass comment.
You know, I thought that this would be the one thing that she would actually find offensive and freak out about, but here we are. I guess I shouldn't expect too much, though, from the person that said this.
But not children in America, children in Africa.
Okay, so we'll get to your comment in a minute. Okay, cool. We'll get to your comment in a second. Murray, I'll talk to you in a minute. So
Yeah, Murray, so wait your damn turn. Can't you see? Carly's trying to be dramatic and sensitive. So wait your turn, Murray. Even though I know your name was Muffy, but we'll go with Murray because that's how Carly saw it. But let her be. She's in the moment. She can't be happy or pretending like she doesn't care. She has to be in the moment, in her scene of heartbreak and just sensitivity, because we're trying to manipulate the audience, Murray.
Okay, so if she knows what the person's name was, then she must know that there's a chat. Maybe she's just using context clues for this, but I'm starting to think that she might know what's happening in the chat and lied earlier. Also, it's pretty rich that she's calling somebody else over dramatic.
this makes me want to cry because these kids are starving and it's sad. And Muffy said, we help provide water to communities that have no water. Well, thank you, Murray. That's so kind of you. Give this.
If one of y'all says some silly ass name, this whole class is gonna feel my wrath. Now, D nice.
Do you mean Denise?
Son of a bitch!
Yes, Murray Muffy. That's so kind of you. Thank you.
Well, that's kind of you. Thank you for being so kind to others. Murray donates water and helps out with the Peace Corps that he's doing. Thank you, Murray. Now,
Carly, again, this whole video is a fucking joke. You can't even get the viewers' names right. You keep going back and forth. Murray Muffy, Murray Muffy. The fucking person's name was Muffy. And how do you know whether he or she is a he or a she. You're a fucking joke, Carly.
So let's get back to this video. We got one more video, and then we'll go ahead and answer some comments, okay? This is so sad. This must be the brother and his brother. I don't know his sister or brother, but this is sad. This is sad. So keep your comments. We'll answer them in a second. So let's all make it a habit of giving the leftovers to the hunger every night before we fall asleep.
That is very sweet, Carly. Let's make sure all of us give to the hunger and not play any games before we fall asleep. Words to live by. Guys, I have to say this again. Please don't think I'm making fun or being insensitive or anything like that about a starving child. This is all about Carly, strictly Carly, nothing else. I that is not me. I am not like that. This is just about Carly. So please don't take it the wrong way or misunderstand me.
Well, I think you're mocking African children, and that's only if I ignore the fact that you're also mocking a mentally disabled woman. But anyway, the weird thing about this one is that I went and looked up the video that Carly's watching. I'll show you the video in full later on, but the video literally says, let's make it a habit of giving the leftovers to the hunger every night before we fall asleep. So Carly was reading a direct quote here, and that's what you made fun of. So if I may make a suggestion, maybe do your research before dunking on a mentally disabled person.
That is so sweet. Yes, Pear, I'm doing, I know. That's so sweet. Keep on.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Did this bitch just talk to her cat? Carly, you know the cat can't speak, right? And you can't understand her, and she can't. If we can't understand you, she definitely can't understand you.
Or maybe just don't try dunking on a mentally challenged woman. How about that? Let's try that.
Before we end this video, it looks like you can, it looks like right here, you can go on their website and donate to kids that don't have food.
Step the fuck up. Step right the fuck up.
All right, Carly, time to lead by example. You want to make this video that you care so deeply and are so concerned about the starving children in Africa. You just told us about how to donate. Donate. Show the receipt. Step the fuck up and show us. But you won't, because this video is all about manipulation. You are trying to get people to think you're this sweet, kind person because you're trying to get more subs because you're scared to buy more. If I'm wrong, donate. Step up and donate. I want to see a receipt.
Well, since we're looping like a Ferris wheel here, I might as well join in on the fun. I want to see your receipt too, ma'am. I want to know what you ordered from UNICEF Market. And I feel like I'm entitled to know after having to listen to all this bullshit. Was it these Karen Morning silver dangle earrings from Thailand for only $39.99?
I gave $30. How much did you give, Carly?
Okay, now we're going to watch one more video. But let's hey, how are you? How are you? So if you have any comments about that video, just leave them in the comments. We're going to watch one more short video. And then, yeah, we're going to watch one more short. There's 18 watching. I don't know. It says 42.
If you're only making this video for the children, Carly, why would it matter how many people are watching? Even if you only had one person watching, you're getting the word out to that one person, right? But yet, you had to comment about how many people are watching. Don't tell me this isn't about the views and the subs, you fucking bitch. That's the only reason you're doing this. If this was all about those kids and you felt that deeply and that strongly about wanting to donate, But no, you're so concerned about how many people are watching your fucking live. What does it matter how many people are watching? As long as you got the message out there, that's what should have been most important. But no, it's not, is it, Carly? It's about the views and the subs.
We're gonna watch one more video and then we're gonna talk about it, okay? You guys ready? Okay, so here it looks like they're giving rice to all the kids on their plates. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. So it says, to a hunger child, hope starts with food. That is so sweet.
Bitch, are you dumb?
Sweet? You do understand, Carly, that might be the only meal that they have for that day. But yes, it's sweet. Do you eat more than once a day, Carly? Because most of those children don't, if they're even lucky to eat once a day. But yes, Carly, so fucking sweet.
You sound so angry over her just saying that this was sweet. I don't see the problem with her saying it's sweet to give food to children. Somehow you managed to twist this in a way that she's mocking it, but the only person mocking anything here is you. This is why I said in my original video that Carly's doing more here to spread awareness than you ever did buying this 12-pack of Mahjong bar soaps for only $37.95.
I gave $30. How much did you give, Carly?
What do you guys think about this? Tell me your thoughts about all they can eat is rice. I mean, rice is healthy, right?
Shut up.
Tell you what, Carly, I got a challenge for you. Since you are so concerned and you're just a good, wonderful, kind person who only cares about the welfare of the starving children in Africa, and it's so sweet and nutritious that they get rice usually once a day, if that. I want to see you do it. Go once a day with just a bowl of rice for 1 week. And then tell me how delicious and how sweet it is. Because you will never do it. You couldn't do it. You eat a lot of food, and you couldn't go out to eat all the time, Carly. But being you care so much and you're making this video to try to get awareness out for the starving children of Africa, because God knows America doesn't know about it, or any other country, go ahead and eat like they eat. 1 week, 1 bowl of rice, once a day. Let me see you do it, Carly. Yep. Fucking bitch.
All right, now you're moving the goalpost. First, it was that she has to donate to them in order to tell other people to donate. Now she has to eat like them if she wants to say that it's sweet that they get food. Make up your mind, lady.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can pull it up. Can you see it now? Wait, why isn't that? Let me see. Come on. Okay, so right here, looks like gravy on top of the rice. That's so sweet. And look at this. They got shirts on and everything.
Carly, that is a soup or a stew. And yes, isn't that incredible? A child with a t-shirt. It's the way you say it. The way you fucking say it. I understand they don't have hardly anything there. It's just your voice and the way you say it just really triggers the fuck out of me.
Well, then here's an idea. Don't watch her. You even admit here that your only problem is with the way she says it. So if you can't stand the sound or the tenor of her voice, then just don't watch her at all. But you can't sit here and try to twist everything that she's saying into being manipulative. That is manipulative itself, and it just proves that you have a personal grudge with her.
Okay, so let's pause it right here. It looks like they got shoes and shirt on and some shorts. This little boy is so grateful for getting food from people that are donating food to the hunger. That is so sweet. He looks like he's ready to eat.
I'm losing my shit.
Again, yes, that is so sweet, Carly. And doesn't he look like he's ready to eat? You know why, Carly? Probably because he hasn't eaten for a couple of days or longer. You dumbass.
He's praying before he eats. That looks good. she's digging in his food. That's so good. Aw.
You guys, I kid you not, this video is triggering the fuck out of me. She has no idea about anything that goes on in the world. And these poor kids are lucky to eat once a day. And because she sees him with food, that's so sweet. He prays and this and that. And she is just really pissing me off because this is not her doing this out of the goodness of her heart or for feeling for these children or anything. It's so fucking sick what she's doing. This is so Carly trying to manipulate people into thinking this bitch is a good person. So fucking gross. And if this were out of the goodness or the kindness of her heart, like she claims to have, why wouldn't she post, like, here's where you can donate or anything? And to be concerned about how many people are watching. And this is all my opinion, but I don't believe at all, not even a 0.5%, that she's doing this because she truly cares.
Okay, so that is okay, so let's pause it. That was the end of all these videos. Let's talk. So it seems that people are trying to be so thoughtful of giving kids a chance to eat. Now, at this restaurant I went to yesterday on the border.
And that's what I mean. You're sitting there talking about starving children. In this restaurant I went to the other day, are you fucking serious? I wouldn't have even talked about that in a video where you're talking about children starving. And then the restaurant on the border that I went to yesterday, oh, you fucking bitch.
And this is what I'm talking about when I say these reaction channels are manipulative as hell. In a few seconds, Carly is going to explain that the reason that she's bringing up the restaurant is because she saw on the kids menu that you can donate to hungry children. But even if that wasn't the case, is she not allowed to go to a restaurant because there's children starving in Africa?
They had a kids menu. Says you can donate $10. Okay, thank you. So they had a menu. They had a kids menu. If you order some food, you can. If you order the food that said you can donate, the restaurant will donate $10 to the kids with hunger, or you can donate $1. So,
the kids with hunger. Carly, it probably said donate to the hungry. It's not the kids with hunger. Oh my God, English is your first language. Learn it. Again, if you wanted to bring up the restaurant, I would. That's so fucking gross. I would never have said, okay, we're talking about a video about starving children. Yeah, when I went to On the Border yesterday, if you wanted to talk about how On the Border donates to hungry children, you could have said, I know there's restaurants, or I know On the Border, if you purchase a meal, you can donate money to hungry children. I would have never have said, yeah, these kids are starving, but I went to On the Border yesterday. You fucking bitch.
Looks like Grammar Granny is at it again. If your issue is with her broken English or her sentence structure, then maybe just don't watch. These are all things that any humane person can look at when it comes to an intellectually disabled person and give them some levity. But you're over here acting hysterical over the smallest things when all this woman has said is that you should donate to hungry people. I don't understand why it is that you feel the need to stop this.
So yeah, that's how it is. You know, you gotta be grateful for what you do. I donate every single few months. I give back to the kids that need food. I give clothes for them. I give books for them. I donate my stuff to Salvation Army to give to kids that need food, clothing, and whatever.
Bullshit.
Carly, you know that's a fucking lie. Oh, My God, don't even try it. You give back. Like I said earlier, show proof, show receipts. You always get a receipt because it's tax deductible. Show me one receipt, Carly, where you've donated one thing, because you're lying. You are a pathological liar. You steal, basically, in my opinion, monthly from a food bank, taking from kids. Not only do you take food out of their mouths, but you're taking toys. Toys, Carly, that can go to children. But yet you give back. My ass you do. You fucking liar.
Handcrafted pickle Christmas ornaments from India for only $17.99. Show the receipt.
I gave $30. How much did you give, Carly?
So whatever I don't need, it goes to them because they need it. So that is it of this live. Thank you so much for being here, watching the 2 videos. And yes, please don't forget to go subscribe. Yes, nice. Food banks are always good to get things from there. I'm gonna get off here.
I know you didn't understand that comment, Carly, but that was someone calling you out about the food banks. And what's your response? Food banks are a good place to get things. You fucking bitch. And what happened to your hold your comments, Muffy Murray, to the end, and we'll get to your comments? All you did this video for was manipulation, to try to get sympathy. You don't give a shit what these people say. These are people who view you whether they like you or not. You said you were going to answer their comments. You didn't answer one. Do you know how bad I feel when I can't get to every single one of my comments? It makes me feel horrible. I at least try to give them a heart to let them know I appreciate them. You wouldn't be where you, well, no, you would because you bought your sub, so never mind. That doesn't apply to you. And then you sit there and say how you love your viewers and your subscribers. I rarely, actually, I don't think I've ever seen you leave anyone a heart. All you do is if someone leaves you a comment, which is rare, you'll respond with, please subscribe. You're fucking disgusting.
All right, let me work this backwards. As far as liking and hearting every comment and nearly having a panic attack if you miss a comment, I actually left a comment on a different video of hers from my other channel where she complained that nobody was calling Carly the R word.
I don't think it's fair that I have to be treated this way, and I'm getting really tired of it. People taking my stuff, trying to, put sad faces on my faces, call me retarded.
The only person I've ever heard call you the hard R word is your boyfriend.
My comment said that there were other channels that were calling her that, and she deleted my comment. But more importantly, I didn't get a heart, so I think I'm owed a refund. Secondly, Carly did respond to Muffy's comments. Do you not remember that whole spiel about the Peace Corps and digging wells? That was Muffy. I know it was a long time ago, but you sure had a lot to say about it. I also know now that you saw those messages because you just admitted that you read in the chat where somebody called her out about the food bank again. So that means you were being blatantly dishonest when you were shrieking earlier about Carly saying awesome. And I bet you were wearing those Karen earrings when you did it. You are disgusting, ma'am, and I'm not wasting another second on this video. Get help, lady. Oh, and one more time.
But not children in America, children in Africa.
So at this point, I want to discuss the implications behind giving money to charity. Since nobody around here provided any links, including Pretty Little Lies, I decided to do my own research on this. First, let's look at the videos that Carly was watching. The first video really intrigued me because I hadn't heard about this send your leftovers to the hungry people in Africa theory before, and I just had to learn more about this. I learned pretty early on that if you just listen to Carly, you can actually learn a lot.
On my phone, I can actually type in videos of kids that are indeed need food. So we're going to talk about that. How are you?
So let's watch Don't Waste Food, very inspiring, from Complex Realities with 93,000 subscribers.
The food you waste is another person's meal. According to a recent statistics, every 5 seconds, a child dies as a result of hunger.
So this particular statistic is actually a statistic that floats all around the spectrum. It's either 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or 15 seconds, depending on the context. The 5-second claim actually comes from UNICEF, who stated in an article, an estimated 6.3 million children under 15 died in 2017. They go on to mention that the problem is exacerbated in sub-Saharan Africa, but the article doesn't specify how many of those deaths are from hunger or starvation. Just that 6.3 million children under the age of 15 died globally. Other estimates related to hunger come closer to between 2.5 million and 3 million children a year that die from hunger, which is why you'll often hear 10 to 15 seconds, but either way, this is simply an extrapolation from presumed numbers.
Don't waste food. Before you complain about the taste of your food, think of someone who has nothing to eat at all. We have no clue how the harvesting is done. The farmers commit suicide when the harvesting is not proper.
So here, I have no idea what this is supposed to mean. Nobody knows how the harvesting is done. I assume the farmers know how the harvesting is done, or they might need to look for a new job. More on that in a moment.
There are thousands sleeping on the roads with an empty stomach. We get the food very easily, so we waste it without realizing for a minute. Let us all make it a habit of giving the leftovers to the hunger every night before we fall asleep.
Yeah, you know, I made a lot of extra Spanish rice this week. I just don't feel comfortable mailing it to somebody in Africa. I just don't think that would meet Serve Safe standards. But the thing is, this video isn't even telling you to give to charity. It's just some weird video telling you not to waste food. It's like if your mother took it way too seriously when she told you there's children starving in Africa just to make you eat your broccoli. What's more is this entire channel is an insane rabbit hole. The whole channel appears to be focused mostly on inspirational messages, environmentalism, and Islamic teachings. But what really caught my eye were some videos about the pandemic. Is coronavirus a punishment from Allah? And thank you, coronavirus. More so, a COVID-19 special from 2018. So where's the charity? Well, there's not one. Looking at the website in the channel bio brings you to someone named Syed Usman Haniel, who appears to be selling a quit smoking program, Quran teachings, and an English speaking course. I don't want to imply that this is a scam, however. Like I said, the video wasn't suggesting giving to charity. I think that we've just got it burned in our heads that when we see starving children, we need to pull out the credit card. If we take a look at the next video that Carly shows, this is a short from Yahweh Children Ministries. Now, at face value, everything looks totally legit here. They have well-produced YouTube Shorts videos that show kids in the ministry, and the videos appear to be doing pretty well in the algorithm. When you go to the website, however, it could use a little bit of work. Additionally, if you go to donate, it redirects to a direct PayPal link to send money. Then I went to go look them up on Charity Navigator, and I couldn't find them listed at all. Now, I want to be clear that this doesn't actually mean anything. Maybe they're just a small organization that isn't fully in the system or something, and they're running a legit organization. But much like the harvesting, we don't know. And that's okay, but that's why most people will just default to giving to a well-established organization like UNICEF, which is on Charity Navigator with a 94% rating. But let's go back to UNICEF Market, which is what Pretty Little Lies was suggesting. I'm curious if you caught the fact that all of the products I showed were from different locations, specifically Thailand, Mexico, and India. But the last time I checked, none of these countries are in sub-Saharan Africa. I'm sure there are hungry children in these countries too, but much like the harvesting, we don't know how these things are made. Are they being mass-produced in Temu factories, or are they actually handmade? Are the workers being paid fair wages? Where and how much of the profits go directly to feed children or providing clean water? These are all important questions that you should be asking before you hand your money over to a charity. The problem is, most of us just don't, and we simply donate out of either guilt or peer pressure. But even under the best conditions, the real question to be asking is, am I doing something that will actually improve their lives, or am I making the situation worse? This is where we get to Mr. Beast and giving 20,000 shoes to kids in Africa.
For hundreds of thousands of kids in South Africa, the only thing standing between them and an education is a simple pair of shoes. Let me explain. Because of the extreme poverty in rural towns, walking to school barefoot is the only option, which means they have to walk for miles over harsh terrain, broken glass, and contaminated water. But before tackling this major problem by donating 20,000 pairs of shoes, we flew to Johannesburg, South Africa, where we found a charity called Barefoot No More that uses these plastic granules, and then it goes through all these tubes and does a bunch of other complicated mechanical stuff that eventually creates the perfect seamless shoe. Whoa, these are actually really nice. Then Darren and the team quickly boxed up the shoes, and we headed to Cape Town to find the schools whose students are in the most desperate need of help.
And I've been well aware of Mr. Beast's ongoing controversies, and I keep asking myself, why does this guy hire so many people, but nobody steps in and says, this isn't a good idea? Because the idea of giving shoes to kids in Africa is an extremely flawed idea with the best of intentions, but it's been tried before. Specifically, Tom's Shoes pioneered the idea of marketing buy one, give one deals.
What if I started a shoe company, and every time I sold a pair of shoes, I gave a pair away? And that way, as long as I continue to keep selling shoes, these kids will have shoes for the rest of their life.
Now, in this situation, we do know where the shoes are coming from, and in order to turn a profit, Tom's isn't going to be sending their best pairs of shoes to the children in Africa. In the case of Mr. Beast, he also explains that the shoes are manufactured using recycled plastics. Sure, there's something to be said for recycling, and maybe nitpicking over quality doesn't matter that much. You might even argue that something is better than nothing, but if you still don't see the problem, then please get up and go look in the mirror and say out loud, I don't think Africans know how to make shoes.
We have 232 shoe making small businesses. Each one of them hiring directly at least 15 people.
In this little village?
Yes. So when you buy your shoes in the US and pairs of shoes are being put in a container to be shipped over to my village, shoemaker has now to close the doors because who can compete against free?
This man's still in business, but it's a struggle.
Dama dig ni à Dakar. Amna ay dàll yu fa une certaine entreprise tom buy defar ay dàll diko ñew diko distribuer.
I know it came from a good place. I get it. But can you just think further down the road? Unless you think that we really sincerely have nothing, including even shoemakers. And I think that's terrible.
This is Maguette Wade. She's an entrepreneur from Senegal who started a lip balm company called Skin is Skin. She teamed up with the Foundation for Economic Education to make a short film called Made in Make. I'm going to link this in the description. It is a must watch, and it's one of the most eye-opening 30 minutes you'll ever see. Her argument is that Africa struggles because of over-regulation in the governments.
The reason why these countries are poor, it's due to the fact that they are overwhelmingly over-regulated. Okay, let me give you some examples. You know, I just came back from Senegal 3 weeks ago. I now spend half my time in Senegal, half my time here in the United States, because my business, we produce our products back home. We just finished setting up the manufacturing facility. We make skincare products. Let me give you an example as to the type of idiocy that I'm dealing with on a daily basis there. To make these beautiful creams for you, these beautiful lip balms for you, I need the best ingredients that the world has because I happen to be a very picky person and a very proud person. If I want to show you that us Africans are as worthy as anybody else, I also need to raise my bar, right? Because of that, I need to source my products from anywhere I see them in the world where they happen to be the best. So it turns out that right now in Senegal, out of all the ingredients and packaging that goes into my, let's say, the lip balm that we're launching in September, only 2 ingredients for now I can get from my country because they match the standards that I'm looking for. Everything else has to come from somewhere else. And you know how that goes. It's a global world, you know. We source from wherever we can and where we find what suits us. Well, did you know that anything that I import in my country to make my product gets a tariff of 45%. So my country's like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. That kind of sucks. So, okay, you jump through these hoops, fill out all of this paperwork, do this, do that, and then we will come and do all of these controls at your site and everything, and then we'll give you an exoneration for 3 years. And if you're being a good citizen, then maybe we'll extend it for another 2 years. That's what we have to do right now. Do you see the disadvantage that I have compared to a woman who is here in America and starting her business herself? What nonsense.
And this might sound like a first world problem that only someone running a company would care about, but the point is that in this case, she would benefit from simply moving her company out of Senegal and into somewhere more business friendly. Instead, she chose to stay and work around the system in order to help change that system. So what exactly do you think happens to the people that live in these countries but can never get a job?
Poverty in my case, the poverty of my people means that we have countless young people, some of my most entrepreneurial people who are right now serving as fish food at the bottom of the ocean. Just 2 weeks ago, we had a boat tip over somewhere in the Mediterranean. And you hear about these stories, you see these pictures. I grew up with the stories of people dying at sea. Why? Because they had to leave their country because there is not enough jobs. And why there is not enough jobs? Because the business climate sucks so much that people like me can't do their work of creating companies and jobs, so they pack themselves into a little fisherman's boat, try to cross to make it to Europe to find a job so they can feed their families back home. Most of them don't make it. Just 2 weeks ago, again, another boat. Babies in it. Babies.
And this imagery might look like something that you'd see from south of the American border, but it's hardly a coincidence. We so often see these people as victims and searching for a better life, which they are, but how often do we consider the solutions as to why their country has become inhospitable to them?
How do countries prosper? It has been one of my big questions. I was very interested in understanding why is it that a couple decades ago, you know, China, for example, was at the same level as most African countries. And yet today, they're completely, I mean, they have done this. Countries like Singapore made it. Countries like Hong Kong made it. Even a place like Dubai, bare land of sand, desert sand, and all of a sudden, within 12, 15 years, Dubai, one of the financial centers of the world, and you're like, what? What happened here?
And specifically talking about Dubai, this video was coincidentally on my Twitter feed a couple of days ago, showing you how Dubai has progressed from 1994 to 2024. It's crazy to think that this has happened in our lifetimes. Maguette Wade makes one other important point in her interview with John Stossel. The UN has no problem putting down mandates on countries when it comes to social justice or climate change, but why is there no mandate on economic freedom?
I imagine the leaders of these countries mostly mean well. They see how damaging this is. Why do they impose all these rules?
I am not so sure that all of them get it. Look at the UN, the Sustainable Development Goals.
The UN's development goals include things like inclusive and equitable education, climate change, and gender equality. There's no mention of rules that kill business.
We have chains around our necks, no one is seeing it, and then they want to come talk to me about inequality. We need greater economic freedom.
Simple rules that everyone can understand.
Yes.
So what do you do to help the people in Africa? Well, if I put it bluntly, give them a job. Because if Tom's or Mr. Beast had only listened to the actual people in Africa, they would have heard this.
C'est pour dire que kon société boobu loolu muy def noonu tom boobu loolu lañu def pour ñëw di ko jox gratuitement les écoles de Dakar war nañu xam ni c'est pas gàttal bu ñu ko liggéeyloo fii ci Sénégal fii lay ëppee doole.
If you want to run a nonprofit, can you just try to make sure you ask yourself, am I running or supporting an NGO that's helping people be productive?
So the bottom line is this. Instead of listening to Carly or Pretty Little Lies or Mr. Beast about giving to poor children in Africa, why not just buy products and services from businesses in Africa? I'll put a link in the description to Maguette Wade's company, Skin is Skin, and if you're so compelled to give unconditionally, she also runs a school that serves low-income students in West Africa called Tiasan Academy, and I'll link that below too. By the way, that's not on Charity Navigator, so as I mentioned before, it's best to do your research. But truly, if you can't afford it, don't donate to anything. Take care of your own financial freedom first so that you can give back in a more direct way that actually makes a difference. Finally, I said that there would be something at the end of this video that made all of this worth it. I personally can't donate myself this year, so I decided to take Carly's original stream and use AI to turn it into a song with a powerful message. I fully believe that if you blast this tune all over Africa, it might do something. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to let me know that you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching.
Oh, hello everyone and welcome back to my life. We're gonna talk about kids that need food in desperate need. This is my Diet Coke. Every 5 seconds a child dies. Think of someone who has nothing to eat. These kids need help, it's sad to watch. In line with their bowls, trying to get food, barely getting anything. This is very sad. Before you complain about the taste, think about that. At the restaurant you can donate $1, or you can donate 10 and help kids with hunger. Let's talk about this. Buffy said, I work in the Peace Corps helping kids overseas, digging wells, delivering vaccines. Murray said, we help provide water to communities that have no water. Thank you for your comment, that's so kind of you. We waste food without realizing whatever we don't eat goes to them. Let's make it a habit, giving leftovers to the hungry. Thank you for watching, let's all take a stand. Together we can help, we can make a change. In line with their bowls, trying to get food, barely getting anything. This is very sad. Before you complain about the taste, think about the taste. Think of wretched, you can donate $1, or you can donate 10 and help kids with hunger. Let's talk about this. Muffy said, I work in the Peace Corps helping kids overseas, barely getting anything. This is very sad. Before you complain about the taste, think about the taste. Think about the taste. Think about that, the taste. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. At the restaurant, you can donate $1, or you can donate 10 and help kids with hunger. Let's talk about this. Muffy said, I work in the Peace Corps, helping kids overseas, digging wells, delivering vaccines. Murray said, we help provide water to communities that have no water. Thank you for your comment, that's so kind of you. We waste food without realizing whatever we don't need goes to them. Let's make it a habit, giving leftovers to the hungry.